So in for repair today we have our Pedrotti Grain dryer. We'll catch up with Dave there as he puts it through his paces. We also have John B with the 8430 and the Kverneland plough, and we'll talk with Mick and Calum and Sean as they go about their daily duties. David is scratching his head here and everyone is laughing because it's probably been 25 years. It's 25-year-old for a start.
25-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, nearly as old as me and David.
You reckon it's 10 years old, but I reckon it's longer.
Okay, and it probably has been a long time since it's been working. Now, why are we taking it out this year? Well, one of the reasons why we're doing that is because we still have an amount of beans to cut. The beans are going to be a little bit late this year to be harvested, and the moistures are quite high. So, if we could cut them, David, and take a little bit of the moisture out of them, we possibly could sell them at a reasonable price, and we could probably get them cut and get the winter crop in behind them. So, why at there, Mick?
But they're stuffed.
Yeah, well, so
that's the way it was always.
What new be after? So we're not sure. We reckon it's over 10, 12 years since we had it out last working. It lay in the shed, and as a result, there has been a lot of crap has built up around it. You explain how it works, will you?
Yeah.
You would have worked these as a as a young gosling.
Served me time on them, was right. Yeah, we a few of them all right. So my Uncle Paddy started off with a 10 ton, same as yourselves.
Yeah.
And went from that to a 20 ton and 25 tons. They're all the same. They're basically the same, only a bigger bin. And that's
so they're an Italian-built machine.
Italian-built machine is right. Pedrotti. So do you want to start off on
we'll bring the cameraman with us there and he might just explain how it works.
Right.
New cameraman on today.
If we're getting shit there and that.
Don't know how he's good there.
Stuffed. Yeah. Right.
So we have these are the two guys who's going to work it.
They're going to work it, is right, yeah.
Yeah. And they're overseeing the job here.
Yeah.
Mark was over there laughing, but
right, so basically what we have is we've the bin, right, as you're looking here, this is your bin, your hopper, right, she holds 25 ton. So at the front of the tractor end, you have your fans, your burners, your pulleys, all that's your generator and the whole lot's at the front. So what happens is it comes through a transfer gearbox here, transfer gearbox there, and then the main auger is belt driven underneath, right? Then you have stirrers and mixers and stuff inside that to keep the grain moving. So the whole idea is that the auger goes right up through the middle, the whole way through the middle and right up to the top, right? So to fill this, what we do is we pull this lever here, we bring it up, that engages
this
the
auger
hopper
here
at the back.
Yeah.
So that once there's a hopper over this, you fill with your wheat or beans or whatever. It's filled into this auger and it's augered right up to the top. And basically you keep going, keep filling it until you get your dome at the top.
So these sides, well, we can...
Yeah, so we can winch them up. So that goes up. Now, it might be a bit stuck, but...
it could be a bit stuck now, David, is right, yeah. I haven't
got that far yet. Anyway, they go up, so they'll go up and nearly touch that chute above.
Yeah.
So it'll give you a full-size bin. So, not sure from the camera, can you see inside you have a cone inside that? And that's where your burner, your flame, your air is going into that. So it keeps augering. Once you let down knock off your feed auger, it keeps circulating the grain then around.
So the product is constantly
constantly moving. So it's constantly moving up and down, and your air is being blown into the centre, which we're working on the burner at the front there. So it's diesel fired burner.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that then as well.
So we go over here and have a look at that. Now
these are your controls, by the way.
A self-contained unit in that once the PTO was driving, it's engaging Evan, isn't it?
Yeah, so you have 380 volt on this.
Yeah.
You have also your 220 obviously because you have 380. You have your sirens, your thermostats. So you can set the thermostats here basically on whichever gauge. So your air temperature, your safety temperature and your grain temperature basically. So you, after a while, once you've done a few samples, you can actually get these fairly accurate. And once the temperature comes up to that, normally your product is on.
Your moisture
within reason. So the main thing is then to keep it all greased and belts right and all the rest of it and that end of it.
Do we have a pre-cleaner on this one?
So there's a pre-cleaner up on top. I had to disconnect it now because we had a few visitors in over the winter. Jackdaws and whatever else. So we had to take that off. But this is a pre-cleaner fan.
That's your typical nest that'll be in something like this up at the top. building away. Lovely spot, lovely and cozy spot up there. I was in the shed the whole
They're
lot.
not too bad. The jackdaws are the worst of all because the jackdaws bring in half the field, literally half the field into it. So we've it all cleared out now anyway, so we just need to get in and clean out the rest of it anyway. But so you have a pre-cleaner fan here, that's all off your 380 volt, 3-phase, and it sucks from the very top. So as the grain is coming up through the auger, it takes the chaff off the top of it, sucks it out, and you can put that into a bag elsewhere, and that's it.
Yeah, Mick is working here on the burner and the jets, and this brings back a lot of bad memories for me working on these.
But I say the main thing that the Italians got right was they put a hanging rail on the top, so it's easy to get the burner out at least, if nothing else.
Because you would have it out.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, like, give them credit. When these yokes are running, they're running 24 hours a day.
That's true, yeah.
And that's it. So they don't get a break. Obviously, they're running for probably a month in a year, but it is long. It's running hard.
So a batch system like this is 25 tonne. Well, you wouldn't do. Will you do 25 tonne an hour? All depends what moisture you're taking it from.
Depends on what moisture is. I've often sat in a dryer for 8 hours trying to get a batch done. But like, it depends on moisture and depends on the product, on what it is, you know. So, but look at they can. The diesel tanks the far side. This is your main fan, by the way, sucking in here. So the main fan comes in. You've also an auxiliary fan the far side, which is ran by a motor which is also running your fuel pump. So the fuel pump then runs at about 12 bar. You have your gauge up here, then you have your solenoids, right? So you have your so you have a main solenoid here, that's called a train here. So what you have is your first solenoid which activates, and then your two other solenoids then are for your low flame and your high flame. Then you can set your the amount of diesel you're letting through here. So what happens is it ignites on the
low flame.
And you've only electrodes here on the low flame, so it ignites first, and then once the photocell, which is inside, we had it out a minute ago, it recognises, once it sees light, it'll keep the diesel coming. If it doesn't see the light starting, it'll cut it out. So it's just a safety thing, so you're not filling the chamber with diesel on its own. So that photocell is very important to keep right. Clean diesel is probably the most important on the whole thing, isn't it?
This diesel has been with 10 years.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So we're thinking of draining, and there's only about that much diesel, and we might just clean it all out and be done with it, because it'd break our heart otherwise.
Yeah.
So after that, so that's what you have. You have the diesel pump running around 12 bar. That's happy enough with that, but the little gauzes in these give trouble. So we'll have to. Yeah.
Completely stuffed. That one wasn't too bad. Funny enough, we got fuel out when we started up initially.
Yeah, and then it just not a good sign.
Yeah, well, look, if anyone has any experience in operating these, I'm sure they have, because it was
there's a week's work for them.
Apart from a week's, 2 weeks work for them. A little bit of information on how they work, or maybe a few tips and tricks, as we would say, on keeping them going. But probably would have been a starting point for any young lad starting out in the farm, going to trying grain for the summer, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, in fairness, they work quite well. This is quite old, obviously, so it's going to take a little bit more time just to get it right. But I have full confidence in you, David, that by the end of tomorrow, we'll say tomorrow, end of tomorrow, that you'll have it up and running and flying. Mick is just mad to do a night shift on it here.
I'd say it was about 15 years ago since, I'd say it could be more, it could be 20 years ago since I finished my last batch of these, and I swore never again. And so, here I am.
Yeah, but like, these guys love a challenge. That's one thing. It's really not in the workshop today. It's actually outside the workshop, because we just don't have any. We don't have any room to buy it into. Yeah. But look, a little bit of a challenge. A little bit of a challenge going on here.
Yeah, we're going well.
Going well. So we'll keep you updated. Hopefully now, again tomorrow evening, David, he'll have beans in it, and
well, as long as there's beans cut to put into it, that's the main thing.
Right. Okay. We'll keep you updated on it. So today we're in for a little bit of repair on the Kverneland plough. A little bit of discussion going on here. John B wants to, I don't know what he wants to do here, Marco, but we have landslides gone. This can quite happen enough sometimes that John actually wore it down to nothing. And isn't that right, Marco?
Just too busy. Yeah.
Too busy, and he hadn't time to change it, so he says. And now we're a situation where we have a hole gone here. Now you can reverse these landslides. Marco, what are we going to do? What's the plan here?
All this bit is good, so might I cut down on old one. It's like this and is gone.
Yeah.
One is good, one is gone. So good bit put on, can be like new, put back.
So we get nearly a set over 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the plan.
Yeah.
We think. We're not quite sure here.
Yeah, well,
We're gonna see, try.
we have to try, yeah.
Yeah, well, these are all reversible in fairness, and we don't want to, not that we're mean or anything like that, but we don't want to be throwing out good steel. And like as you can see here, these are actually a heavier landslide than the normal one, and they're a heavy duty one. So we do get great wear out of it. But yeah, we're just going to have to figure out.
They're on it since last year, so.
Well, John, how's the ploughing going?
Going well, yeah.
Huh?
No bother.
Are you on your own this weather?
Oh, yeah, sure.
How's Connor?
Connor's, I don't know where he went. He went off on a holiday somewhere.
Well,
Decided he mightn't come back.
He mightn't come back, is right, anyway, but I think he's out in Thailand or something, we're not sure.
or he mightn't be able to come back.
Well, maybe so, yeah. We mightn't want to see him back, isn't that it? And else then on the...
Well, the skimmers here,
Yeah.
the skimmer boards here are wearing. And all the wears on them is here, this little tip.
Yeah, just probably not a great on the Kverneland,
Not a great idea, because it starts wearing the frog, like.
Yeah, you can see here we have a little bit of wear on it. You certainly don't
Like
want
that there, that's some waste now. So we're going to do some of that as well. Maybe hard rods, just weld it up and like what bother to be honest.
Yeah, because all this bit is good. So,
Oh, it's just perfect. Look.
so if anyone has any ideas what they do, whether they use hard facing rods or use little strips, I've often seen before, years ago they used to wear strips down here, bit of a
That steel
bar, the tie-in bar. You used to put that reinforced bar. You used to put it down here to just to wear the life out of
Because
it.
it's an awful waste.
Yeah. You got a bit aware of them now. So
The tips are not too bad. You can reverse them, but again, if you reverse them, you don't get a day nearly out. What's that?
yeah, so
It's pointless, really. And then again, you could go weld again if you wanted to.
you've often done this one.
Yeah.
This trick here.
Yeah, you go again, you cut it, and you can go again, like turn it around up to it.
Yeah. Okay, because parts are not, now Kverneland, in fairness, parts are not overly dear compared to a lot of other ploughs. That's the beauty about these, that
The only thing is your tips now, they're about €9 each.
Yeah, well, 8 to 9 euro by them, now you don't probably get, I know a lot of some other manufacturers, the plough, you will get a longer life out of the tips and that,
Well, that's all to say,
but in general, steel is going to wear no matter what you do, so...
these are reversible too, so
yeah.
you get a bit of life out of them.
Yeah, you have a good bit. Yeah, that's a good job there.
Yeah, that's because that was just war.
So is that frog is no different than that one? No.
No, all the frogs are the same. Now, maybe some of these were changed, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
during the year, maybe,
Don't be blaming someone else. That's all you're doing here.
I could have blamed, I could have changed myself.
Right, 8-4-32, you have Caleb in doing a job, have you?
Yeah, Caleb's there.
Right, okay, we'll tip over to him here and see what he's at. Morning, Caleb.
Hello, how are we keeping down this morning?
Not too bad. Actually, mostly when John B comes into the yard, he's a big crowd around him here because he's that much jobs to do.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
Yeah, no,
So
I see that. There's a bit
He's Marco in the working in the back, you're working in the front here, but actually what are you working on here?
This front sensor.
This is a bit of a recurring problem, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the height sensor for the front left side of the tractor, so it uses 2 sensors to dictate the height. But we had an issue with the sensor itself, so we changed that, put back in the standard bolts, and then I don't know, something got jammed behind it and it broke out one of the bolts. So we ended up having to get these slightly different self-tappers, which, well, I just had a quarter thread and were that bit thicker. But just with I assume with the grease pumping from the inside, because I think it was leaking grease after that fairly shortly. One of the bolts is after letting go on it again.
Right, so it's basically that cap that's there, that's held in with, is that, no?
Yeah, it's held in with
the saw clip there.
So that's on the end of the pin, it's just barely just a grease cap.
Yeah.
and also the mounting position for the sensor.
So will you have to take that off?
Not in this case. I think I can get away with putting probably a slightly bigger or coarser self-tap
You
on
have
it.
to let a room to work there so you don't.
No, it's very tight, but look, you do everything you have to. Just a spanner and a screwdriver is all you need for it.
Right.
But right now we're getting a new cap, because I had to do that on the far side about 2 years ago. So we'll probably get a new cap and then just be done with it, because
It's not a thing you want to be messing around with, especially not hit John there. I'm over here, you explain the way it works and how you know when you're driving it.
Yeah.
It just needs to work level, the whole suspension.
It has to be level, because your drives, if they're off, the next thing your knuckles are gone.
Yeah, and that can be quite an expensive fix there if you have to do that. So again, when you're probably driving the tractor, you'll know actually where the tractor is sitting. And if you look at the levels as you're going along, you see all of them should be running.
It is a great suspension, but you have to keep them greased.
Yeah. No, definitely. We've never had any issues up till probably the last
Probably this year now.
3 years.
3 years, really, hasn't it? When probably the miles have gone up, the hours have gone up in it, and it's all down to number one, which was grease, but number one too, if anything happens to sensor and
sensors,
and it sits down.
It does come up on the computer,
Does it?
Yeah, it comes up on the computer once the sensor is off.
Okay.
It'll tell you.
But it's not that bad. It won't just completely lie down on the ground.
It doesn't
will
lie down,
stay at kind of a midpoint, whether it works just off the other one purely or what. But
It actually keeps it tight. Like it doesn't that it goes down on this side or that side. It'll actually keep us level.
Yeah.
Even if this sensor's not reading right.
Okay.
So it's not bad that
Okay, we'll let you walk away. I presume he's a list of jobs for you then after that, has he?
usual story.
Usual story. Usual story.
Not right, Kayla.
I know. You no shortage. You find him work for us.
Okay, Sean, Slug pellet applicator, putting it on.
Back on.
Back on the Jimmy again.
Yep.
Now, how good saying you see this back on. Now, I have seen I think it's in PX Farms, where they had a Hilux with big wheels in it and 2 Slug applicators mounted on the back of it. But we have our own little version of the Jimmy. Now, in fairness to the Jimmy,
You don't even know what's in the field.
so you wouldn't?
No.
Absolutely incredible the way they can kind of flow across. Now we have these big tyres on, you probably, a lot of the viewers would have seen that on before.
Yeah.
The beauty with this is that it's so easy to put on and put off, because everything is on the trailer here, and we can just basically hook on, applicator is sitting there ready to go.
Frame and all made up inside it, and then your lights at the back of the trailer.
And you have the lights on, the whole lot, and then putting the, do you have to take out the, inside in the
Yeah, well, you
cap
put
here,
a frame up, so you do, for all the screens.
but do you have to take the screens there, or can you leave the screens in?
Depending on what type of gear it is, if you're not going to be out with it, you might as well take them out and have 2 seats, you know.
So you're probably just limited when you have in, just have 1 seat.
Yeah.
But great bit of comfort there in that gym, you have to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it, you going to get the job doing it?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
I'd say be job for Hubbles, will it?
Maybe, yeah.
Right, okay, well, so look at we fade into it and we clean it up there and have it ready to go.
Yeah.
Big purchase here from Sean. He's after letting the confirmation money go and spending money here on a toolbox. But you went for a snap-on and finish?
Oh, yeah. It holds the value, so if I ever want to move away, I can just sell it, like, and there's my money back again.
Yeah, definitely. It shows a little bit about it, even though I know that there's not too much, but it's kind of, I was trying to open the hair there and I couldn't because there is a little device here on this side, isn't there?
Yeah.
So no other special features with them?
Not really, no. Look, it's bigger, I have more drawers to put stuff. I don't have stuff everywhere on that, or the older box.
Yeah.
So at least you can store them a lot more now.
Yeah, because it has a quite a good size bench on the top of it there.
Yeah.
And you still have a ting tool there, so you're still flying the flag for them as well.
It's tiny.
But the snap-on, I have to say, even, by running in and out there, it's here's the job. All you have to do now, Sean, is fill it completely.
Fill it now. I thought the one was full.
The cheap behavior is actually buying the
Yeah.
toolbox. Actually, was that included? No, it does. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, there is definitely a good smooth action there to the drawers. Yeah, fill it up now. Best of luck with it, and I hope it goes well.
Oh, she will.
Huh?
She will.
Keep the oil changing it.
Yeah.
No.
There's a lock on it, so Hubble can't get out now.
Keep it well serviced and keep it away from the rest of the lads, and that's the main thing, isn't
That's
it?
the main thing.
Right, good lad. Clutch out of the CVX 175. Now, this unit we did replace, and we probably have talked about it on a few occasions on workshop ends, so probably sick looking at it. But Mick being Mick, wanted to see actually what was going on, and this is the old one. So yeah, it was probably on your mind there for a while just to see.
When I see that, I expect to see a split. That's your diaphragm there. It's like a saucer.
Yeah. So
And as it wears, as the pads wear, those fingers come out. Right. So the more it wears, that's why on a. I don't remember now. I won't go there.
why? Why are you not going there?
On clutches, normally your bite point is way down,
All right.
and as they wear, the diaphragm comes out, so your bite point will come further out. Like in of old days when we'd be checking the clutch, or buying a car or something like that, you tap the clutch pedal, and the more you press it, the more life you had in the pedal.
Okay.
Or in the clutch.
Yeah. So this is a similar, really
Yeah.
similar application. Again, it's the clutch with a diaphragm here, and if we can just. So we could get that off earlier. Okay, we have it off. Now, I don't know whether you
It's
can
not
see,
split,
pick it up on the
but
camera.
It is rotten rusty.
Yeah. And
I think it's just seized. Now that diaphragm is probably knackered. But also, our splines are well skinned there in the hub.
which is where the drive
In
is
there,
coming through.
There's nothing left. And our plates, the paddles are well gone. Fried, I suppose they were heating up and
Yeah.
slipping.
So we can turn
It's
over
blue.
that side. You can see where it's completely no pad left whatsoever on them.
So the rest are probably going to be the same.
So how many's in that, Mick? So
I don't know.
we can just
Well,
keep
we'll
stripping it
just
here.
bring
Do
it
you
here.
want to mark it?
Not really sure what are we going to do with it.
Yeah. Well, that we can do at this stage. We just wanted to see exactly what was going on. So this,
And the inside are glued as well.
yeah.
Well shot. The trouble is you really need to see a new one to see how much is worn off them, but they're half. Your friction area is reduced straight away.
Yeah. That's that one. And then here we go again.
If the springs, then the springs are broken.
Them springs are gone too, are they, Mick?
Yeah. I think they're just anti-rattle though. That one's not too bad. To
And this is probably the best of them. Yeah, I'd imagine that would be probably.
Actually, you can see there, you have a lot more on that one than you have on that one. It's your depth there above the rivet. That's it.
So really, it's either a
Shot.
total rebuild or a throw-out job, isn't it?
Well, that's screwing it.
Yeah, here in the middle. Yeah,
If you, had
the
if you
drive.
didn't have that, you probably do like a lot of the, I don't know if they even do them nowadays. The clutch relining crowds. Even there, see they're wearing the splines.
No,
But you get away with that. It's
Yeah.
this. I don't think it'll last too long.
yeah, so that's really it. Not a whole lot we can probably do with this one. It's a throw-out job, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but anyway, Mick, you know what's inside it now, don't you?
I just with that diaphragm. I would have expected that to be split, which is not. But judging by the corrosion, I think it's just seized in that position.
Right. Fit for the bin.
Will I hold on? Will I put it back together for the minute?
I put it back together, yeah. So since you took it Sunday now, you might as well buy. So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos. And yes, if you are heading down to Punchestown, I'll be heading down there myself tomorrow. So call over, we'll have a chat. Yeah, so from over here at Finnegan's Farm, we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.